Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the Transformers Generations Leader Class Jetfire. Now Jetfire is a pretty good representation of Skyfire slash Jetfire from the G1 cartoon, and while it does do pretty well to represent the way better upgrade of the Voyager mold, it does have a few minor problems which I'll get to later on in the video. Anyways, we'll take a quick look at the box, which is obviously the only current Leader Generations figure we have at the moment, making this the first Generations Leader class figure we got so far, not including the movie lines. So, anyways, we got Transformers Generations up here, not about logo, obviously in profile shot of Jetfire slash Skyfire himself. 30th logo, Level 3 Advanced Hasbro, and on the back we see his stats, along with the bio that states, Jetfire is an ancient but powerful... Jetfire is ancient and powerful, but he would prefer to stay hidden in the background rather than on the front lines. He's a peaceful robot at heart, preferring the steadily ordered excitement of science to the frenzy of battle. But the reckless ambition of the Decepticons and the senseless violence of their war sickened him, so he left Cybertron to go into hiding. He slumbered in peace for years. Reawakened by the arrival in the war on Earth, he decided once again to enter the fight, this time on the side of the Autobots, and this time to end it for good, whatever the cost. So it does actually have a bio that's pretty much supposed to represent its G1 counterpart of Skyfire in the cartoon. Sorry about the scraping sounds. Anyways, we'll quick look at his articulation points. His arms have ratchets, which can go all the way that far due to the backwing piece being in the way. His arms can extend about that far. They can swivel, and sometimes they do get loose from the back piece, so be wary on that. Going to there. And then he's got a ratcheting elbow, which goes a little bit more than 90 degrees, but it's pretty close to 90 degrees. His wrists can swivel, but this kind of makes up for it, but not by too much. His head, it's got a full range of movement, can go 360, and due to the transformation and so on, his head can actually bend pretty far, so that's pretty cool. And then he has no waist articulation, but his legs are on ratchets, which can go front and back about that far. Extend outward due to transformation about that far. And his feet can pivot. And articulation-wise, that's pretty much all you're going to get. Now, he does have, obviously, a firing missile, which I'm going to fire off here. Let's just take the gun off the side. Now, I'm a bit annoyed about the chrome pieces, as they're very glaring due to just how bright the red chrome is, and it would have been better if they were not in chrome and just regular red plastic. Let's see why he's not standing properly. Okay. Should be back to normal now. Oh, that's weird. Never had this problem before. Okay, that's good enough. Let's just take up all the components, so if you want to have a little bit more accurate in terms of G1 Skyfire, just take up all the components. These out to the side. And then, the cool part also is that you can actually remove the battle helmet, just like on the Classics Voyager mold. And underneath is actually more of a G1 Skyfire design. So that's actually pretty awesome what Hasbro and Takara did to design. Now for transformation, it's actually quite simple and kind of a bit of a letdown for the price point the leaders are at. You just free his arms, like so. Pull it out, and be wary since for some reason, this side, the clip, this piece isn't supposed to pop off, as you can see there. It's just a QC problem of mine, and the piece keeps getting stuck into place, so it's causing it to not be stable, and it got really warped out of place. It's got a stress mark there, so it's a bit annoying. Oh well. I'm going to extend the legs out so it looks like this, so you can get them out of the way. His arms are just going to bend back like so. So it looks like that so far. Make sure that, and that piece can come off. One moment, I'm going to put it back on. Make sure that you extend this far out. And actually, which I forgot to mention, in that robo mode, you can actually keep this down if you wanted to, like that. So, did forget to mention that. So that's cool, it's got a swivel there. We are going to swivel it there for the transformation anyways. Just bend this piece down so now it clips into place. So now you got the nose cone piece. Close this together like that. And up here it's just going to peg into these little pegs up here up top. So now that's into place. For this, what you're going to do is make sure that these go out like this on both sides. So it looks like that. Turn these around, push in the feet, and bend them in a way so that they peg into the components, which will be freed in a minute. Before you do that, what you're going to do is pull out the wings. And now you should be able to get enough clearance to peg these into the little holes on the side there on the back wings. This looks like that. And here's the part that caused this to actually stress. What you're going to do next is push this down, turn the head, and then you're going to make sure that these pieces go inside the components there. And that's what caused the stress mark, since you kind of need to do a little force onto it. So I have to be careful this time around to make sure it's not going to break it even further. Okay, this time I got it correct. So to finish out transformation, all you gotta do is peg this together, and there you have Jetfire in his vehicular mode. And I'll be back to show you a better look at the vehicle mode itself. And we're back. Anyways, Leader Class Jetfire is pretty nice in vehicle mode. I really enjoy what Hasbro has done to design the figure. Well, Hasbro Car anyways. Has done to design the figure overall. It looks much more accurate to his overall what the Jet's supposed to look like, unlike the Classics one. And being much bigger also makes it better, but as mentioned earlier, the only major problems is that the transformation is a bit underwhelming, especially for the price point you're spending on it. I got this with a bunch of coupons from Toys R Us and all that, so that's the main reason why I ended up getting it. Otherwise, I would have avoided it just because I already do have the Classics mold. What you can also do if you want is pull up the wing flaps so it's like that, but the problem is, just like in the Classics mold, the piece kind of gets in the way and makes it kind of unappealing. So if you really want to, you could just remove the thing completely and then just keep the components on like that, and now it just looks like a regular Jet without any of the attachments. Now, also in this mode, it's got a bunch of landing gear pieces. What you're going to do is pull out the piece there, and then the other two landing gears are already there for you, but this one you do need to pull out, so now it can roll, roll enough on the ground. And I need to get this piece secure. Hold on. Sometimes this gets kind of dislodged out of place due to the way that it transforms, so keep that in mind. Okay. So now, yeah, it's a pretty cool representation of the Jetfire design, and I really enjoy what they did with the overall design aspect of the figure. What you can also do, obviously, is if you wanted to, just arm up all the components back onto Jetfire, where you could just kind of plug them anywhere you want. I just like to plug the smaller pieces onto the wing flaps there, just placing back the cannon pieces. Then obviously you could just plug in the gun on the front, so now you got a fully armed Jetfire, and you can, so if you wanted to, you can also just put back on the piece, which I'll do now. So now, from that on, once you get this off, sometimes it can be a kind of a problem to put back on, but once you do, it stays on pretty well, so no need to worry about that piece falling off, so that's good. So overall, you got this really nice Jetfire mold. Obviously, the chrome is a bit deterring. It's not too bad in vehicle, just because it kind of sticks out in way of his armory and so on, but yeah, it could have done better without any of the chrome bits on it altogether. I'll be back after I transform it on screen so it can give you my final Leader Class Jetfire is a really nice representation of the character. I really enjoyed Jetfire / Skyfire in the show, and I was kind of disappointed to see how small the Class 6 Voyager is. I mean, that mold is pretty nicely sized since it is taller than the Class 6 Optimus mold, but in terms of accuracy and total size, Skyfire was humongous in the show, so it's good that there's a leader representation of Jetfire in the Generations line. And they did a really nice job representing the character altogether. Now, the prices they are going for on Toys R Us currently, like around the $46, $7 price, is a bit much for the overall package, what you get here. But if you get it on sale like I did, I used a bunch of coupons, and even, I guess, even at a $35 price, and some of the prices that I've seen on Amazon around $37 and so on, I think it's definitely worth the price he is at that point. Just kind of iffy on the total amount otherwise. But anyways, please comment and subscribe. Check out Hirotaku, Rajio, and the associated podcast, WRW. Sorry, it's been kind of sick recently, so I'm trying to remember here. So anyway, so check out, the podcasts on there. We also have Hero Talk and Hero News as well. So also check out the site Hirotaku. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube. Bye.